Hi there, Trevor here from Double Bill Movies. So if you think back to my first episode, my first video of 2023, I mentioned that I wanted to do a little series called Japanese Knockoffs. Now this is just a gentle play on words. This is not knocking either the Japanese film industry or the American film industry. But the Japanese have made some great movies over the decades, and the Americans have decided to remake some of them. I suppose that's great for the English-speaking world. But they vary in quality, and I just thought I'd do a series exploring them myself. So this first episode is about Dark Water. So this is the Arrow release. Basically it's about a young mother and her daughter, and they're having to look for a new place to live. Her relationship with her husband has become a bit sour, and I guess they're getting a divorce. As they go to this tower block and find a place and find the gentleman that shows them around, they introduce her to the man behind the sort of reception counter. They go up in the lift to look at the apartment, and the gentleman behind the reception counter sort of watches them on the video monitor for the security cameras, and you start to see a few things, so very early on. But as they move into the apartment and they start living their life there, strange things starts to happen, and it gets quite creepy, and there's all these dark patches on the ceiling of like mold and all this, that and the other, and water dripping in various parts of the flat. So at one point the mother goes upstairs to investigate, but there's no one in the flat above, no answer or anything like that. So she asks to see if she can get the ceiling repaired to make it look a bit nicer and a bit easier to live in, and that sort of thing. But her daughter keeps disappearing and finding things. One of the things she finds is like this little girl's rucksack, and it's got things in it, and the man behind the reception counter says, "Oh well, I'll look after it for you, and if in a week's time no one comes to collect it, then you can have it." Anyway, I found this a really, really gripping movie. For a horror film that isn't blood and guts and murder or anything like that, it's definitely chilling. And when I finished watching it, I was physically chilled. I was physically disturbed, and that's a good thing, because that's what horror films are meant to do to you. So if there's anyone out there that sort of watches horror films and perhaps you don't really, horror films aren't for me because they don't scare me or anything like that, I think this sort of thing might sort of get under your skin a little bit. It's quite a sad story, I have to say, and the fact that it's in obviously Japanese, as it is a Japanese movie, the speech is not too fast, so I found it quite easy to keep up with the subtitles. Invariably, because I'm not the fastest reader in the world, that if I'm watching a foreign language movie and I have to read the subtitles, I find myself pausing and rewinding, having to read sentences again. But in this one, I didn't have any such trouble. So of course, the counterpart to that is the American version, and it is available through Buena Vista Home Entertainment on disc, Blu-ray, which means it's on Disney Plus. And there it is, Jennifer Connelly, starring in Dark Water. So, let's try not to get the light in that, shall we? So again, it follows not quite the same beat for beat, which is good. I don't think it's ideal necessarily to remake these things exactly the same. Sometimes it is, because the films are that good, there's just no way of changing it. Now, I worked on possibly I think the DVD of this when I was at Testronics at Pinewood Studios. And if you want to know more about that, I have a series called How Physical Media is Made, and I also have a tour of Pinewood Studios series, so that will be somewhere in my videos, my playlists. Anyway, back to this. So yes, I worked on the DVD. I don't think I did an actual watch through where I sit and watch the film and do my quality control work. I think I did compatibility testing. So my memories of this disc, or this version of the movie, were a bit skewed. And so watching this, it didn't quite play out the way I thought it would. But it still looked good. It's nowhere near as creepy as the Japanese version. And it's not quite as sort of compelling. It's not quite as, it didn't draw me in. It was trying to, maybe because I'd watched the Japanese one. Maybe I should have watched this one first. But yeah, it just didn't quite do for me what this film did. I mean, I highly recommend both of them, to be honest. Like I said, this is on Disney Plus. This is through Arrow. This is just a nice addition. I think it's got booklet and everything, so it's the first edition. It's 2 discs, so it's DVD and Blu-ray, and of course, yes, there's a booklet, which will be great to read and learn about the original concept of the movie. So there you go. That is episode 1 of my Japanese knockoff series. So the best thing to do is say which one I find better, and I think I've sort of said that the Japanese one is far better in this instance. That may not be the instance all the way through, so if you want to follow me on this little journey, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and let's explore some more Japanese knockoffs, shall we? Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.